Imagine this. You're scrolling one day on Roblox out of boredom. No games you really find seeming to be interesting you, when you suddenly come across something that catches your eye. It's just a random obby, doesn't have many players on it. Seems silly, but you're bored, so why not play it? And the game reaches your low expectation of it immediately. Images of bunnies stretched across each and every block as you move forward, a 15-second audio playing on loop in the background. Lovely. Eh. There's a few odd things, but nothing too weird. Probably just some things left behind by the developer. And you reach the end. What a great way to waste time. Now the game... Pretend that never happened. And now you're done with the game. Or at least that's what you thought. But this isn't a normal game. And I wouldn't make a video if this was just some short, silly obby with nothing to it, would I? Now, not only do you have a flashlight, but you can also sprint. Hope there's nothing you have to run from. Heading to the lit house in the distance, you discover it's completely abandoned. It looks like whoever was in this house just left one day. The TV's loud and filled with static. You can't turn it off or change the channels, which is a shame because if it could work, I would have played Immortal Marcus videos.
What is going on?
He can suffer with me now on whatever this game is.
Video.
And, of course, there's a basement. Just as gloomy as the rest of the house, this place doesn't have much to it. Just a few things left behind. In a room beside it, you find a few other things. A painting of a group of people, a desk, and this. Note from Edward. I made a little code using the alphabet. Each letter has a number, starting with A is 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, and it keeps going until R equals 18. If you wanted to decode it, just match the numbers back to the letters. This is my little secret code. You remember that random letter we found at the end of an obby? That's part of an important code, and this is our cipher to decode it. But for now, we have other things to explore. There's things with us here, too. Shadows. This one being locked away and not being able to be interacted with. It just stands there. There's no key to unlock the padlock, either. Traveling to a second house in the distance that is unlit, we find more notes. I finally understand what happened. I thought something had taken Austin away. I thought he was changing into something else. But I was wrong. That thing I saw, that was Austin. He wasn't becoming something different. He had been hiding this side of himself the whole time. I don't know how long he's been like this, but now I see him differently. The person I trusted, the person I thought I knew, wasn't who I thought he was. I'm scared of what Austin can do now. I don't know what he's capable of, and I don't know if there's any way to bring back the Austin I used to know. I keep thinking about that night, about the way he looked at me, like he knew I finally understood. I don't know what happens next. I just know I need to be careful. Jake. Next to it is another letter. Remember to save these for later. If you don't have any place to write them down, don't worry, I will save them for you. Despite this cabin having much more space to it, there's not much to explore. The doors are locked. You can search the kitchen, but there's nothing in it. There is an upstairs, though. And another shadow. Thankfully, like the other one, it doesn't do anything but just stand there. These aren't just random shadows. These are most likely people, just like what Jake said happened to Austin. If you interact with this shadow, you end up teleporting to another place. I looked around this place for a while, but I never really found anything interesting other than another shadow which you can't interact with. So, for now, this area is just a random place you can go to. But something tells me something happened here, but is either left up to interpretation or is unfinished and will have something more added to it eventually. And with that, there's nothing left to explore in this area. But that doesn't mean we're done with the story yet. There's still a code, and assuming it's a 4-digit code, we have one letter missing. Going back to what you thought was a regular obby, you can find another letter behind a sign. Now we have our code, but what order do they go in? I do them in order of where they are and where you find them. FGAA. And using the cipher, we switch the letters to numbers. 6711. Yes, I know. 6, 7. Okay, moving on. Where does this code go, since there's nowhere in the other games for a code to be put somewhere? Well, if you wandered the maze in the obby like I did, you probably found this note. There's not only that, but if you take a left the second you enter the maze, you'd find a locked door. It needs a code, and now we have it. After inputting the code and going inside, there's another shadow locked away. With nothing else to do, nowhere else to go, you walk towards it, and you're teleported to another game. A brightly red contrasted hallway, and there's only one direction you can go. As the hallway continues, things start appearing until you reach your door, a room, a crime scene. November 3rd, 2014. I don't have much time to write this. Austin found me. I spent weeks trying to understand what happened to him, but now I know the truth. Austin isn't something I can explain. He isn't the same person anymore. Whatever that thing is, it's something I've never seen before. If anyone finds this, remember, don't trust what Austin shows you. He may look the same, but something is different. Austin is not what he seems. I don't know if anyone will ever find out the truth, but I needed someone to know. This is my last note. Jake. Despite the many details to this room, which I really think are neat, there's nothing you can interact with. But once you're done looking around, you might have noticed there's something else here with you. Guys, is that Benny from the hit game Benny the Machine? Something? The that one guy? Jokes aside, I thought this animation was really cool, and it scared me to death when I realized it was there because I originally thought something was going to get me. You're blocked off by an invisible wall, so you can't go towards whatever this is, and it doesn't move from the spot. So we're thankfully safe. But there's nothing else to be found here, and this is the last room. So, with nothing else to be found, that's the end of the games. But checking the badges you get from finding these places, there's an interesting additional note for you to find. Goodbye, Jake. Jake was once someone who spent his life protecting others. After years of dealing with things he couldn't explain, Jake retired and left his old job behind. He wanted a quiet life away from everything he had seen. But he never escaped the memory of Austin. The night Jake discovered what Austin really was changed everything. The case was never solved, and Jake spent the rest of his time searching for answers. People thought Jake retired because he was tired of the work. They didn't know the truth. Jake was afraid of what he had found. Years later, Jake's final note was discovered. It was the last proof he knew something was wrong with Austin. Nobody knows exactly what happened to Jake after that night. All anyone knows is that Jake is gone, but his notes remain. A warning for anyone who tries to find the truth about Austin. Okay, so what the heck is going on here? These people are obviously from the photo we have found in several different places, but who is who and what is even going on? Okay, first let's start with our concrete evidence before I start spiraling into things that are simply theories based on what we know. Okay, this is Austin, and this is Jake. We can figure these out from the several versions of the paintings we find. The one from the event and the one in Jake's house highlight specific people. Considering the situation going on at Jake's house where the painting is, I can say with certainty that this is them. This is also Austin, and this is also Jake. I'm certain of this because Jake's final note and the last of what we found of them is right next to this ghost of sorts, which means the other shadow is our murderer, our culprit, Austin. Jake's note even mentions that after all this time, Austin has found him, so there's only one person who this could possibly be. Jake was investigating something and Austin happened to be involved, and from the looks of it, Austin was one of the main culprits behind whatever was going on. And with this newfound knowledge and fear of what they had found, Jake retired, and from the looks of it, continued searching for answers of what was going on while in hiding. The case was forever unsolved, but they spent the rest of their life trying to figure out what exactly happened to Austin, and eventually accepted it as something they would never be able to explain. They don't know if anyone else will ever find the truth, but one thing is certain for them to know. Don't trust what Austin shows you. Now for the less concrete stuff and more into theories, the shadows. From the looks of it, there are 5 shadows you can find, technically speaking 6 if you count whatever Austin is. I don't think any of these are the same person except maybe one of them, because I have a feeling that these 2 specifically are still alive. Maybe? But I'm also given no hint whatsoever of who half of these shadows are, except Jake and Austin, obviously. Also, Jake's ghost is in a photo in the same room Edward's note is in, so from the looks of it, Edward also attempted to figure out what was going on, creating a code to help us unlock a secret room where either Edward is as a shadow or this is someone else. And if this is Edward, then who is this? Like I said, very little information to go off of when trying to figure out who is who or if these shadows even are other people, other than the fact that one of them is definitely Jake. So, either this whole friend group was dragged into this case and each turned into shadows by Austin, most likely these 5 since they are grouped together at all times, or I'm just crazy and misreading this. Either way, hope we get more stuff in the future so I can get a better idea of what's going on. I really want to know if we can get anything directly from Austin, because apparently we shouldn't trust whatever he shows us. But most importantly, stuff this far has been following the same storyline, so it can't be from Austin. Also, it definitely wouldn't be Austin showing us the secret room. Because if you're trying to make someone believe you, you wouldn't show them several notes saying you can't be trusted. Or maybe you would. I don't know. That's unfortunately all I can theorize with what we have. You should play the game yourself to figure out more stuff. It's pretty simple and fun to explore. Also, I never thought a horror game would test how well I can get through an obby if I want to get half of the lore. Well, there's another game I can think of, but it's different. I'm out of words to say. I'll maybe make another video if we manage to get an update on this, but for now I have a pile of projects to get to, so I'll see you whenever I make those. Also, feel free to comment if I missed something, because that happens sometimes, and there may have been like this big detail I just accidentally didn't notice. Okay, I don't know what else to say. That's the end of this. Bye!